A topic that you've been fond of for a while now has been the death of malls.
Waifu. Oh.
No, waifus was last week.
Okay, waifus was last time.
Let's go to the mall, you won't be sorry.
I was just at a mall recently, which is not a dead mall.
Which one? Name drop.
Gurney Mills in Gurney, Illinois. I went there to check out Second and Charles, which was because of an episode of Lazy Game Reviews, LGR, where he went to one, and my coworker Liz, famous Liz, and I were watching that episode at work, and I was like, we should go there. And she was like, we should go there. So we looked it up, and there was one in, an hour north or west or wherever of here. And so Liz and I made a trek out to Gurney Mills, which is a very large shopping mall right adjacent to Six Flags Great America.
Comparing Gurney Mills to anywhere else is a lot like comparing these. Something to remember when it's time for these. Gurney Mills, there's nothing like it.
And checked it out, and I didn't realize that the Second and Charles, which is kind of like a thrift shop, but like a glorified thrift shop.
Kind of like an Ollie's? No, it's not a thrift
No.
shop. That's a discount store. It's a clearance store. Oh, okay.
It was an end cap.
An anchor store, you say?
An anchor store at Gurney Mills.
Oh,
I thought it was like an
Lord.
independent outside of the mall.
Yeah,
it was
or at
an
least
actual,
like somewhere in the walk.
Yeah. So we went there, and then because it was connected to the rest of the mall, we were like, well, let's just go. Like, when's the last time you've been to a mall? Let's go walk around the mall and see what we can find. And malls are weird now.
Yes.
I have here a directory of
Here's
the malls at Gurney
culture
Mills.
part of Culture Doom that's coming up here in a second.
I have the I closed something. I have here the Gurney Mills directory.
Oh.
And we can get rid of restaurants.
This is going to be painful.
I don't care about restaurants.
Hey,
US
those Air Force recruits. That tells you how sad things are at this point.
We don't need
Marcus
there we go.
Theaters.
Sorry, I should have done this beforehand if I was professional. I just want to get rid of the restaurants. We don't care about restaurants.
They have an Abercrombie?
All right.
Dear
So
Lord.
here, right off the bat, this is weird. They had an escape room built into one of the storefronts. The other thing that's weird about that is I was at the Renaissance Fair a couple of weeks ago. Also,
I never got your full report on that. By the
yeah.
way. I wanted my desk Monday morning.
Well, I'll just put it this way: the Renaissance Fair
microfiche.
also has has a escape room.
Wait, who had the Ren Fair?
The Ren Fair has an escape room. I think it has two actually. Ye
Escape
old
from cholera?
But this is the start of this escape room is the start of a trend that you're going to see in what they have at
Okay. We need somebody to fill up square footage and pay a lease.
Adidas
Outlet store.
Not an Adidas store, an Adidas outlet store.
Ah, boy. It's like going to Aurora outlet malls.
Aeropostale. That's kind of surprising that they're still around too.
Yeah, same with Abercrombie, Aeropostale, Hollister, if they still exist somewhere.
I think Hollister does still exist. This is all in Target or all on Target. This was a BB gun shooting gallery.
Oh, baby gun.
It reminded me of going to either those shooting galleries at Disney where you've got the little laser gun.
Yeah,
So Bass Pro Shops, that was there. That is
that's a
kind of-
standalone.
well, and it's a standalone. It was an
アンカースト
and
ア
it's kind of like one of the big
アンカーストレス
I do have the photos from this mall. And you'll see if you look at this.
Holy cow, that is not the mall I remembered from my
You
youth.
can-
That's the mall I remember from my youth.
You quickly
That's
get
America
to
right there.
Either the Rainforest
Rainforest
Cafe
Cafe.
or the Bass Pro Shop stuff.
I remember when I was younger, when Gurney Mills first opened up, I think it was like a huge mall. I don't know if it came around the same time as like Mall of America, but it was known as like, it's like a mile length if you were to walk it or something.
No, well,
Or
we walked the whole
it's
thing.
pretty long. It's pretty a long, especially if you're like 9 years old and you're trying to walk this. It's a very long one.
Little legs.
And it was, the theming was like rural farmland type of motif. Very 90s looking, also with these sitting areas with these TVs and couches and lamps. And then I remember there used to be overhead a guy, a farmer on a tractor. He would go out of a barn, go down this track, and then end up in another barn. And I guess he would turn around in it and then go the other way. It was kind of unique. They had 3 toy stores there back in the day. KB, Toy Liquidators, and then Toy Works or something like that.
Wow, I haven't heard that name in a long time. I bought
KB.
I bought a Ghostbusters Ghostbusters animated series trap.
Oh,
at,
yeah.
Toy Liquidators.
Mm-hmm.
Break out the new equipment! Ghost trap set. Ecto goggles down. It's Marshmallow Man. Ecto popper ready. Neutrino blaster charged. Roast them. Got him. We ain't scared enough. Go!
It's the Ghost Trap from the real Ghostbusters. New from Kenner.
Anime stores have skyrocketed. So this box lunch place,
They've turned into Suncoast Video.
well, it's
Minus
turned
the
into like
video.
a fucking anime convention. It's like all the shit that you used to buy at anime conventions are now just at the mall, which is kind of disconcerting.
I feel like it would lose the, to you and I feel like that easily accessible, readily available stuff loses its uniqueness and appeal. It's like when you go into Target now and you can get like a Naruto t-shirt or Demon Slayer. You know what I mean? Where it's
Right,
like back
yeah.
in the day you
It's
had to
not
go
special anymore.
you had to either order it specially through Animerica or, you had to go to a con of some sort. Maybe if you were lucky enough, you could go to a comic book store and they maybe had a t-shirt there that wasn't your size, but still it's like you could find it there. But now it's like you could just buy it on Amazon. So, what's that clothing one down there with it's like a bee?
Oh, Buckle?
Buckle. Oh, okay.
I mean, that's been around for a while.
Oh, okay.
That's
Is it
where
kind
you
of
buy
like
your-
Aeropostale?
Well, it's like they kind of curate brands. It's not like a there's no Buckle brand, as in Buckle jeans. Buckle sells like Lucky jeans.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Like they source brand names, brand fashion labels, stuff like that.
They have a
When
beat
I
ups and a
wanted-
Build-A-Bear. Okay.
What I wanted to say about these anime stores, and I just need to show this picture.
Yeah, I'd like to see what an anime
I'm going to
store
show
looks
you. I'm going to show you something that I found and I don't remember which one it was in that list, but this is something that Liz and I stumbled across at the anime store.
Was it called the anime store?
It was a store that sold anime models and Japanese food and sodas and products.
Oh, okay.
It was a weeb store. All right. Can you tell?
Female hygiene products?
Yes. For the most hardcore of hardcore lady weebs, if you look hard enough, you can buy...
That's a lot.
I mean, I haven't bought lady products in a while.
You're done with that phase of your life.
No, if anything, I'm on the other side of it. I think that guys, like younger guys, are sort of like, "Ooh, I don't want to go buy tampons." And then after a certain age, you're like, "How many tampons do you want, hon?" You know,
That's not what
do you want like what absorbency are you looking for? You're just over it.
That's not what I meant by that joke, but okay.
Oh,
The listeners will know.
anyway,
But I mean, that one on top, I don't know what brand it is, but yeah, that one that you had, that looks as big as like when you go to the store and you buy like a 300 count of like napkins or something like that. That's a wide.
I thought you were talking about how expensive it was.
Oh, I didn't even look at the holy shit. Are those the prices?
Those are the prices.
I should ask my wife.
I don't know.
I was
I don't
thinking to
know.
myself, I'm like, we need a female opinion on this. And I'm like, oh, I've got one sleeping like 20 yards away.
But so anyway, I thought it was incredibly amusing because whatever this is,
The selection is just...
well, there's a selection and the price must be higher than buying domestic. And why would you ever do this? Why, even if you're a Japanese person who just moved to the United States from Japan, and you're like, I want some comfort of knowing the product, this is what you're going to spend your money on? Not
Yeah,
food,
you kind of...
not a drink, not shampoo even makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Buying pads or tampons just because they're Japanese
From the homeland. Yeah.
is insane.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you move to a new country, kind of adapt to the new country. It's you just kind of
You have to adapt to our weird maxi pads and tampons.
Yes, they go for at least a little bit less. Gurney Mills was cool because I think it was a big, huge... Shit, sorry, there's a microphone here. Gurney Mills...
See, now that you have your microphone actually by your face, you do the exact same shit that I do.
Gurney Mills was built as a big, huge mall with like new stores and those, all this stuff. And I think it has to do with the general state of the economy in terms of malls, foot traffic also. I think that also the stores that are... maybe a lot of the companies are just basically putting their outlet stores, and it's like they're like, well, we'll put an outlet version of our store and maybe get a little bit less for rent because they know of what exactly is going to be selling and such.
But they could probably sell more product that way.
Gamers Paradise. Wait, is that used to be called
World?
Oh, they used to be called Gamers
like
Paradise.
Gamers Paradise.
They had a Gamers Paradise in Charleston Mall. I used to buy Magic cards there all the time.
But so my point is that a lot of these places, you have either the obvious Levi's, Lids, Banana Republic, Gap, like any of those places.
Old Navy,
Macy's.
Oh God, Macy's are not what the Macy's that used to be.
Sure, but you know what I mean? Like, it's like Second and Charles is weird. It's a thrift store.
Yeah.
It's a fancy thrift store, but it's a thrift store.
Yeah.
And like you've got so many of these like weird
Subway. Wow.
You've got so many of these weird... It's funny, Round One is kind of taking over dead malls, I've noticed. But you've got so many of these like weird entertainment companies. Those are the two things that stood out to me. You've got like Round One, escape room, weird random arcade things put in. And then you've got anime store number one. Here's bento box. Here's sushi roll. Here's we just saw it. But there was at least 6 anime themed stores.
God.
When we walked through, which is just weird.
Which Hot Topic is basically all they do now is sell wrestling t-shirts and anime t-shirts. And that's it.
And meme shirts.
Yeah. Or okay. They also have
Ibisu
like
Life.
That was set 20% of their stock is just Nightmare Before Christmas year round. I think it's something where malls are basically at the point where it's like we just need anybody to come in here to take up whatever square footage, and you guys can get an anchor store because it's got a whole bunch of square footage and put in your bowling alley lanes and stuff and call it a day. Because I think also a lot of problems, like a lot of these towns that end up getting malls that just go belly up and they get purchased by some investment company that does nothing with them except sit on the property hoping it appreciates over time, are like, we've lost tax revenue because there's no stores. There's no income tax coming from property because they're paying whatever the bare minimum property is and hoping it raises up and they can sell it. And then they're like, the place is falling apart. We don't know what we're going to do with it. I know some towns have basically gone and taken over. Some of them just completely leveled them, put up apartments, or they've gone and put government offices and did some renovation stuff. But when you look at a mall, and anybody can go on YouTube. One of my favorite people, Dan Bell, he's been doing this for a while. And he goes to these malls, and you see when you have all these empty stores, that's a lot of square footage. And when you don't see when you see the stores operating, when there's tenants in those store units, okay, you have somebody taking up the square footage. But when you have just empty unit after empty unit after empty unit, like you could speak from experience also, because you probably went to Charleston Mall and saw how that thing was just falling apart. When you see all that square footage, you're like, holy crap, there's a lot of just space here.
Right.
And it's kind of like when the mall is finally done, it's just like, what do you do with it and stuff? And I understand that a lot of people are like, well, it's been killed because of, various economic factors, rise of online shopping and stuff. Yeah, Amazon, although I have to say also Amazon's search function a lot of times just sucks ass. And it's kind of like, I feel better just going and getting the physical product myself, depending on where I can find it, if I can in some cases. But also, there's a whole mom and pop thing. They're like, oh, shop local, the mom and pop stuff. It's like, yeah, but a lot of times the mom and pop stores don't even exist either. So, mom and pop in this sense it would be like brick and mortar, go to a mall and buy something there if need be. But it's an interesting thing because it's another thing that like younger people are not growing up with in their lives. Like we grew up with cable television or over the air TV, simplistic video games, VHS, like going to movie theaters to see movies instead of just sitting at home.
ストリーミング
Stuff, malls, a lot of different stuff. This is mall culture. There was always the thing about mall culture. You watch like a lot of 80s teen movies and they were going to the mall and stuff. And it's something that I can lament for hours on end and stuff. But
yeah, but
it's weird how they're trying to kind of keep some of the, like Gurney Mills, for example, like trying to keep down like life support by having just odd people come in and sign a lease.
Well, no, the thing that's weird to me is that there were a lot of people at the mall. There were a lot of people at the food court. Eating.
So they have foot traffic.
It was popular.
Okay.
And my position is that at this point, so many malls are dead and nobody wants to move into them or do anything with them, that it's kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy that they're going to die. But it doesn't necessarily have to be that way. I feel like teenagers still want someplace to go without their parents, and malls are still a very good place to put them, where it's a self-contained little thing.
It gives them a place to socialize in person instead of virtually, which is something that was a major problem.
I mean, I never had it as a kid.
I went
to the mall with friends like 5 times when I was in junior high and high school. But at the time, it still was exciting to be. It was still unsupervised.
Within our age demographic, it would they would still go and do that. But like some of the example like Yorktown, Fox Valley, Yorktown, Oak Brook, Gurney Mills. There are also the outlier malls. Old Orchard, I think. Excuse me, might be another one. Woodfield Mall. Woodfield Mall, definitely.
Woodfield's. Excuse me. Woodfield's super big.
We're talking about Chicagoland ones.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There are definitely like the outlier malls that they were kind of. I feel like they were the larger than life type of malls that were able
to fail.
Yeah, I think so. They were kind of like they were kind of, I think, managed a little bit better.
Sure.
But I remember in the 90s, you can speak from being, born and raised resident there of Aurora, where those outlet malls are off of the interstate there, across from Papa Bear's restaurant. That was nothing but just forest at one point. And then they built this, and they have nothing there but except like outlet malls. There's like Nike outlet, Express outlet, Adidas outlet, it's
the fact that there are so many people who fuck up my drive to my mom's because they want to go to those outlet malls. It's like, God bless whoever thought that was a great idea, because it turned out to really be a good idea for this.
It's a cash
city.
Cow.
But anyway, Alex, we got to move on real quick.
Yes.
because when we're talking about wistfully how great 90s malls were, quite a while ago we talked about how McDonald's had moved away from the PlayPlace paradigm.
Mm-hmm.
And this was an episode from a while ago. I think that's the thing where I can put a thing here that tells you the episode. I don't know. Professional YouTubers, guys.
It'll pop up here.
But our good friend Euclid, who has left many...
A good friend of the show.
Good friend of the show, who's left many kind comments. Too many kind comments. I'd say that it's like he's trying to resuscitate a corpse. It's like we've been dead for a long time. It's over, but we appreciate you still trying to make this something. He actually sent an email. And this is what you've been.
Dear Lord.
This is
Are we still paying for that?
This is something that you've been asking for decades.
I didn't. I stopped asking.
Well, you stopped when we stopped putting the actual email address.
Send the email here.
Yeah,
here.
it's gone. It used to be right there, right there.
This space for rent.
Yeah, exactly. We'll put anything there now. But he was watching old episodes, I guess, and we didn't even have an active email address for a while because we were changing servers. So he snuck in and sent an email. So I thought it's only fair and respectful to read the email that he sent, and it's actually relevant to what we're talking about right now. So Euclid writes, "Hey guys, saw this in Columbus, Ohio a few weeks ago and thought of you guys. Pretty nostalgic to see, honestly. Recently reopened and renovated McDonald's PlayPlace. It's also worth noting the irony of this, as it made me think of the first video of yours that our best friend, the YouTube algorithm, sent me." All right, so he got sent the PlayPlace episode. "Keep it up, gentlemen. Your chemistry is motivating me to start making videos." We have chemistry? What? I don't know about that.
Maybe if we go to Perkins and order some pies for our ladies. All 2 of them.
You're like very into those ladies.
Well, because Baker Square. I mean, I don't have a Baker Square down here. We got a Perkins here in Urbana.
Here anymore.
Well, it used to be. Now it's called Sal's Liquors.
Are you serious? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Your chemistry is motivating me to start making videos playing the games I love again, so thank you. Basically, my favorite channel at this point. What?
Wow.
What? Have you seen this show? God
We're
damn.
better than T-Series?
That is a very kind email, Euclid. We really, really, really appreciate it.
Maybe
that.
he's also somebody who's gotten tired of Linus's, blinky bullshit.
And also, if you enjoy Halo, if you enjoy Let's Plays, please, by all means, check out Euclid's channel.
Ooh, Let's Plays. Christmas is coming soon. They're going to have the snowballs and Rust again.
That's when Alex and I get into Let's Play when the holiday tie-ins show up in Rust. He left a comment on our Rust video.
Oh, sweet.
So
thank you.
Euclid has been very kind to us. Check him out if you're interested in Let's Plays and video game content. Very cool guy, very cool channel. But relevant to us is this photo that he took at a PlayPlace, a new PlayPlace being built in Columbus, Ohio.
It's a lot of fencing.
I have not.
What kind of children are in there?
I have not seen this myself before.
That's crazy. That's a
lot. But it is like a weird updated PlayPlace.
It looks like a water, like a Schlitterbahn.
What? Is that,
a Schlitterbahn.
Can you say that on YouTube?
Yeah, Schlitterbahn.
It looks like the PlayPlace at a Starbucks.
You know, if you walk into a McDonald's nowadays,
I know.
It feels
What's weird though is that like Consumer Time Capsule, a channel we both used to watch all the time. I wish he still did.
He posts every once in a blue moon now on Twitter.
He posts on Twitter and Instagram. Quite a
Oh,
bit.
Instagram. Okay, I should get him on.
But it's
Instagram.
just like stills.
Yeah, he's like, look
obviously.
what I bought.
Because his channel was not... his channel wasn't successful, and unlike us, he knew when to quit.
Yeah, but we don't post on Twitter or Instagram either.
Yeah, I tried posting on Twitter, but I just wasn't into it. Anyway, this is fascinating. This is a whole new paradigm of soullessness.
Yeah.
It's like, come to our prison playhouse.
It's not very inviting for kids. I mean,
No,
what I'm noticing is that
no.
there's a lot of metal and there's a lot of landscaping, like topiary stuff to the left of it.
There's a lot of metal and there's a lot of topiary landscaping.
I mean, I don't know.
This is what children love.
And the McDonald's logo looks kind of like recessed a bit. Almost they're like, it's a McDonald's, but we don't really want to say it's a McDonald's.
Oh yeah, there's your topiary.
I mean, those are all just tables and benches for it. But it's like, look at how much of a gap there is between the building and the play place.
And
Like,
then
why is there so much gap?
if we look at PlayPlace 90s. Oh my god, it's like so fucking.
Mwah,
It's
mwah,
so
mwah.
sad. It's so sad.
Look at that.
So we go from that to
To this.
it looks like a prison.
It does. And unfortunate thing is, like, yeah, there's going to be kids that are going to play there and stuff like that. But that's all they kind of know. It's just like, you just know playing in a steel prison, basically.
I mean, I will agree with Euclid that it's better than nothing.
Yeah.
It's better than just like a concrete parking lot. But
Yeah.
it's got this harshness, this like brutalist.
Brutalist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Brutalist
Commie
architecture.
block type of shit.
Commie block. Are you sure you weren't in communist China, Euclid?
Today we are here to unveil glorious playset for children of apartment block number H2. Clap for leader.
Glorious leader approved. So yeah, while I will agree that it's better than nothing, it still is
I hope it's a work in progress too.
Somehow
I hope it's not
lacking.
the final product.
Well,
And then
that's
again,
the final product.
have you played a AAA game in the year 2024? It's pretty much the final product.
Modern McDonald's PlayPlace.
Oh god, no. Oh god, no.
Oh, weird. This looks like it's AI generated.
That's the one. That's what they have at the one in Champaign.
Oh, really?
Yeah, next to the Coles. That's
Have
the
you taken
kind-
your boys to this?
Yes.
Nice.
You know what the worst part is? If you're trying to go and get your kids, because it's like, hey, we need to go. It's impossible to get them out of there because there's only an
It's like a
entrance and an
hamster.
exit,
It's
and
like
you
the hamster
cannot.
thing.
You can't get in there because you're too big. You're physically too big to get in there because it's child size.
Yeah, it's just like the hamster tubes.
It's Hamster City.
It's Hamster City.
We had a little thingy like that for my hamster at home, but it was just like we would put him in there to like play. That was like his play place, and then
Yes,
he'd go back in
because
his
they
regular
poop.
cage.
They poop through all this. You don't want that.
Yeah, and there's air holes in there, so you're like, time to clean it up.
Well, I'm glad. It's funny though that Euclid's play place was not in the search for modern play places. Like, I wonder how ubiquitous that is. That a test play place or what's going on there?
It just looks terrible. I mean, it's an outdoor one, so
It
it's,
just looks terrible.
I mean, I'm wondering if it's someplace in the Midwest, it's only going to be utilized for like 5 months out of the year. I do know that the one that used to be in the Villa Park McDonald's was amazing, quite frankly. Which is the one I had when I was a kid.
Just miss. I mean, as an uncle to two wonderful boys, I miss like Discovery Zone.
Yeah, Discovery
I
Zone.
want to let your kids loose in a fucking
Discovery
Discovery Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fundamental. Something. Fundamental fitness for kids or something. I think that's what the jingle was. You'll probably cut it in here.
I already did.
But yeah. Chuck E. Cheese, Showbiz Pizza, Enchanted Castle. I mean, that was more of a mom and pop. But like any places that had those type of like ball pit, jungle gym, interior type of things with the tunnels and tubes and the cargo net stuff you would climb and such. So,
Why can't we?
The
go
big
back?
thing now though is the trampoline parks.
Yeah, but that should just be a part of Discovery Zone.
Yeah, and they cost an arm and a leg, which is what we have here in town. It's the only thing that you can take your kids to get any energy out. But supposedly my wife said that there's going to be a place opening up sometime soon that kind of has other stuff, which could be pretty good. Which is kind of sad because, I mean, the greater Champaign-Urbana, Illinois area has a lot of families that it's trying to attract and are moving here and stuff. And it's like, well, what do the kids do? It's like, well, go kick a can if they want. Or you could be like my kids and just learn to drive a combine. Nicholas, go hook up the auger to the tractor and follow around Uncle Mark's combine.
Running swing here? I don't think so. Climb and slide here? I don't think so. Then where? I'm going DC at Discovery Zone, where I can cut loose and be on my own.
DC is made just for me, the place where I can really cut loose. It's all here.
Jump and tumble here? I don't think so. I'm going DC, where kids wanna be.
I would never get my kids out of that place.
It also smelled like urine most of the time.
Yeah, a lot of kids had bladder control issues back in the day. I do remember there were several Chuck E. Cheese's I went to, and it smelled kind of poopish. If you know,
poopish.
If you smell what the Rock is cooking.
All right, so this is the song. Oh, you're singing along.
Keep it playing.
Oh,
I remember there was a line that says "fun something fitness for kids," or something like that. It's some fundational fitness for kids. There was some I remember there was
I
maybe
don't
it was
remember this at all.
Maybe it was the Jay-Z remix or something.
Kids have the right to fun, freedom, and the pursuit of
Whoa, look at that haircut. That was me back in the day.
We have a right to express ourselves freely.
Oh, Alex. I was showing Ro our yearbooks.
Oh no.
She was very amused by your haircut.
Hey, you know what?
I had a
was the
similar
90s.
haircut too. So, yours was just much more defined. The center part was people don't know. People
It was
don't
a
understand.
sundial.
All right, I think we've done enough. Euclid, thank you for your email. Really appreciate it. Modern malls are fucking weird. It's like 50% shops, 50% weird amusement park, weird weeb attraction.
What's the other thing I've noticed? Calendar stores.
Calendar store. We've got the calendar store that has a storefront. Then you have the calendar store that's like an island in between stores. You know?
Yeah. These portable like stands.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, do you want the puppy calendar or do you want the kitty cat calendar?
I want the corgi calendar.
You got the Dallas Cowboys calendar. You want Dallas Cowboys? Yeah. Sell that in the middle of Michigan.
All right, I'm cutting this.
Okay.